Hi, welcome to Life Skills with Louie. I'm Louie, and today we are talking about mindfulness of current sensation and setting. If you haven't watched the introduction to somatic restructuring, please do so, which will help you understand what we're talking about overall. And if you haven't watched the two introductions to Getting to Great, the section you're in now, I recommend you do that. One is about mapping your experience, and the second one is about responding to your experience. Finally, if you haven't watched the introduction to the entire video series, please do that so you understand all 5 sections and how they work together. So, to talk about mindfulness of current sensation and setting. This is the way in to somatic work as I see it. Awareness is the beginning of knowing what is going on, and it's also the beginning of making change. Because awareness, observing, and bringing mindfulness to something actually has an effect in and of itself. So as always, when we're talking about mindfulness, we use the same principles. Makes it easy. Mindfulness of, for the purposes of this, just means bringing the same principles to bear on whatever we're focusing on. So we're going to go over each of these principles and how it relates to being mindful of your setting and of your sensations. To start with setting, our surroundings can have an effect on us. And so it's nice to notice them and be aware of sensation and how that affects our internal state. So we can observe, just using any sense to open to our surroundings, see what's going on, make sure we feel comfortable enough and safe in a basic sense. If we need to shift things around, we do so. We can describe for ourselves to bring our attention to our setting. Okay, I see this, I hear this sound, I can smell this. We're tuning our senses to the present moment that we're in. We can participate with the setting, make it how we want to, bring our bodies into this moment and arrange our surroundings. Non-judgmentally, watching for thoughts that get in the way. Oh, things should be like this, or I don't like that. Just letting go of extra judgments about the setting we're in, making it the best we can. When mindfully focusing, bringing our mind into focus, effectively being aware of what our goals are and what our vision is and why we're practicing this. For what purpose? What does it mean to us? Why does it matter? Begin to connect with intuition, which will require developing some quietness, having the space be somewhat quiet, the setting, and gratitude for having a space and a setting to be in. See if it's able to be set up in such a way to naturally elicit some gratitude. And now that we have the setting good enough, we then bring attention to our inner sensations. You can focus for a while on outer sensations, which is its own practice. I have one mindfulness practice in the Being Beyond called Inside Outside, which flips between those. But we're bringing our attention to our sensations. There's the outer sensations, how it feels to be sitting where we're sitting, and the sight for how it feels to have different images coming into our eyes and sounds that we're hearing. And now we tune in within and we begin to notice the sensations that are happening within our body. We start by observing, just noticing, watching so that our attention is not too close to what we're observing and not too far. Finding that middle area as we notice and move through different areas of the body. Describing, really trying to accurately describe what we're sensing. I'm feeling a little bit of space here and heaviness here and lightness here and tension here and relaxation. Any descriptive word can be extremely helpful. You're developing more of a map of your inner world of sensations. And over time, it can become more complete more complex, and more subtle. That as you practice this skill, you'll notice more and more, and you'll realize there's a whole world of sensation occurring inside of your body that you may not have been aware of. Participate with your sensations. Let yourself feel them and perhaps even interact with them, which is a strange thing to say, but later on in this section, I talk about imaginatively interacting with your sensations, but you can actually talk to them in a way sometimes, like, why are you here? Or, oh, okay, just I'm noticing you right there. So participate, be with the sensations that you're having. Non-judgmentally. This is tricky with pain, especially, but in general, really working to not judge the sensations that you're experiencing. Validate that they're here. They have a reason for being here. Watch if your mind is making up a large story about the sensations you're experiencing. The more that you can simply experience them, the better it will be and the calmer the experience will be. Pain is very tricky, but this is possible to observe and notice and be with pain in a more helpful way than a conflictual way. One mindfully focus, you'll find that your attention goes in and out, and keep bringing it back to noticing the sensations within the body. Effectively, again, being aware of holding your vision for the why you're practicing this and you're growing. Why is that? What are your visions for your life? And feeding your motivation with those visions and really thinking about why you're doing this and being effective with noticing and practicing these skills. If something is going awry and really not helping you, then stop, pause, take a step back, look for more guidance. This should work for you and help you, and needs to go for your goals. Use your intuition. Listen to the voice within. The body has its own wisdom. Listen for that. Listen for the quiet, peaceful voice within that may offer you guidance, as we'll talk about in later sections in this somatic restructuring of how it might feel good to move, how it might feel good to hold postures or change posture. Listen within for those messages and see if you can develop any gratitude for this body that you have that houses you and your soul and your attention and your awareness and allows you to experience life. The fact that you have it, no matter what size, shape, or uh, experience it has, and no matter what it's holding in regards to pain, you have a body. See if you can feel some sense of gratitude for that. So hopefully this is a helpful starting point. You can look online to find many different practices related to awareness of the body, and I encourage you to explore. And I hope you find this helpful. Thanks.